and listeners alike, we need to go over all of the fervor, all of the whatever you want to call it, pertaining to cryptocurrencies and blockchain. The craze is just growing exponentially. And in fact, today, Kodak announced that they're coming out with their own type of cryptocurrency called the Kodak coin. Okay? Now, we need to go ahead right now and thoroughly analyze what cryptocurrencies are and are not. I'm talking about cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, and what blockchain, the underlying technology is and is not, and how to monetize the technology, okay? Now, let's talk about Bitcoin here. Now, oh, by the way, everything I'm about to tell you, you take copious notes on, and you go back and research it yourself, okay? Because we'll always give you the empirical data to substantiate the information that I submit to you. Now, the supply of Bitcoin is currently about 16.8 million units, and there's a fixed limit of 21 million units that analysts forecast will be reached by the year 2140. Now, the fixed supply of Bitcoin makes Bitcoin more like gold than like the paper money of governments, which can be printed at will. Therefore, you have fiat currencies. Now, a fixed supply means that Bitcoin acts as a, quote, store of value, end quote, and won't depreciate from inflation. The high current unit price of Bitcoins is not a problem because people can buy and sell fractions of Bitcoins called Satoshis, which are named after the pseudonym of the Bitcoin's founder or founders, Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, each Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million Satoshis. Let me repeat that. Each Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million Satoshis. But you see, to be a real store of value requires more than a limited supply. It also requires that it provide actual utility. A limited supply of trash is still trash. Like gold, cryptocurrency generates no cash flow in the form of interest, dividends, or earnings. So there is no, quote, intrinsic value, end quote, to cryptocurrency. Its only value is what someone else is willing to pay for it. Now, the real utility of cryptocurrencies could be nefarious. The ability to be anonymous, okay, provides its users the capacity to work outside of the global financial monetary system. And it facilitates criminal activities such as tax evasions and money laundering and drug dealing and terrorism and extortion and et cetera, et cetera. Now, several cryptocurrencies provide more capacity to be anonymous than Bitcoin. So, if criminal ability to be anonymous, okay, turns out to be the real substantial advantage of the crypto revolution, Bitcoin will end up a big loser. Now, Bitcoin also suffers from a relatively slow transaction time, averaging 78 minutes because of its small 1 mg or meg block size of data, which has caused users to switch to other non-compatible cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin Cash, which offers a 8 meg block size of data. Now, let me make this very clear, and I'm going to give you the empirical evidence to back up what I'm about to say. Bitcoin is a speculation. It's not a currency. I repeat, Bitcoin is a speculation, not a currency. Let me explain. Family members and listeners alike, anything that rises more than 1,000% in a year's time is speculative at best and a fraud or criminal enterprise at worst. The price is rising so fast because people are buying Bitcoin not for its utility as a currency or a store of value, but simply because they are betting that they will be able to sell it for more than they bought it for. Now, for a currency to be an effective mode of exchange, its value relative to other currencies must remain somewhat stable so that the buyers and sellers can anticipate the value they are receiving in exchange for their goods, products, and or services. both now and in the future. So far, none of these cryptocurrencies qualifies based on price stability. The greater fool theory works until it doesn't. And I don't want to be left holding the bag. You see, the final price of any particular cryptocurrency could be zero. On December the 11th of 2017, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, warned consumers about the dangers of cryptocurrencies. And I quote, "A number of concerns have been raised regarding the cryptocurrency markets, including that, as they are currently operating, there is substantially less investor protection than in our traditional security markets, with correspondingly greater opportunities for fraud and manipulation." The SEC statement goes on, and I quote, "Please also recognize that these markets span national borders and that significant trading may occur on systems and platforms outside the United States. Your invested funds may quickly travel overseas without your knowledge, and as a result, risk can be amplified, including the risk that market regulators such as the SEC may not be able to effectively pursue bad actors or recover funds," end quote. Now, it may be nearly impossible to counterfeit a cryptocurrency, but it remains very easy for your cryptocurrency to be stolen, given both the lack of insurance and the lack of regulation of Bitcoin dealers. Your stocks and bonds are safe because the United States stockbrokers are regulated custodians, and the federal government through the SEC, and the Securities Investors Protector Corporations, the SIPC, provides $500,000 of insurance per account. With unregulated and uninsured Bitcoin brokers, buyer beware. Now let's talk about the blockchain. Now, Bitcoin was just the spark needed to ignite a $500 billion digital currency market. Now, regardless of whether Bitcoin flops or not, that market isn't going anywhere. I say this because the technology that makes digital currencies like Bitcoin operate is revolutionary. Many compare it to the second coming of the internet because the technology can be used for so many other different things and is currently being used for so many other different things other than just cryptocurrencies. And our world desperately needs it. You see, the technology I'm referring to, the technology I'm talking about is called blockchain. Now, blockchain is the technology at the base of almost every digital currency, which means investors would be foolish to pay attention to just Bitcoin or just the cryptocurrency individually. In 2018, blockchain is poised to disrupt and advance multiple sectors, from shipping to the Internet of Things and the industrial Internet of Things. Now, here at the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, we are constantly assessing new and emerging blockchain technologies. Our goal is to find young technologies that can make our ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute family members wealthy and get them P.A.I.D. That is why, in the next couple of weeks, we here at the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute are going to be talking about blockchain in our ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute virtual trader rooms and in our classes, okay? And we're going to go ahead and be discussing some of the industries that blockchain is set to enhance. We're going to do this, okay, on an ongoing basis, as this technology is indeed a game changer. Now, it would be unfair to start a conversation about blockchain investing without a brief summary of how blockchain technology operates. Now, if you understand why blockchain is so disruptive, you're better prepared as a trader and investor to seek out the right companies to get your P.A.I.D. So, buckle up for a blockchain crash course that I'm about to give to you. Now, a blockchain with all its technical whistles and bells, its bells and whistles, is simply a new way to store and exchange data. The technical definition of a blockchain is a distributed and continually evolving ledger of information. Let me repeat that. The technical definition of a blockchain is a distributed and continually evolving ledger of information. Okay? Now, the current system makes connections between peers difficult because of fractured identity held by service providers. Okay? A blockchain system, however, facilitates much easier connection between peers. You see, a blockchain-based system is preferred to our modern system because in our modern systems, citizens must trust corporations to handle their money or private data. Few things can be shared from individual directly to individual. Okay? So, an individual has to be involved as well as a centralized authority. In order for an individual to send another person money, they need to go to a bank. And in order for an Uber driver to pick up a client, they need to go through the centralized application, for instance. Now, with blockchain, you can eliminate the middleman. You can essentially say goodbye to banks, goodbye to internet, okay, big boys, goodbye to confusing centralized voting systems. You see, blockchain allows individuals to share information with each other while trusting that the system will protect them. It also allows companies to dramatically cut costs. Santander expects blockchain technology to save banks upward of $20 billion. Now, because every transaction or piece of information on the blockchain is public, individuals can see exactly where they sent money and where it is gone. That is one of the reasons Bitcoin is so popular. You see, individuals, specifically those from developing countries, don't like a bank involved with their money. Blockchain technology can be applied to hundreds of industries, removing the middleman in shipping, real estate, healthcare, music, you name it. Essentially, with blockchain, we are finally looking at the future. Now, if the points that I just mentioned confuse you, do not be discouraged, because I'm certain you're not the only one. But if you are ready to keep plunging ahead into the world of blockchain, as you see now with others see eventually, just take away these key facts. Number one, blockchain is a powerful technology that allows information to be stored safely and securely. Number two, because of blockchain's infrastructure, the information stored on a blockchain can remain public. And number three, because many blockchain technologies are decentralized, users can connect and exchange information without a central government. Now, these three unique traits give blockchain the power to transform hundreds of industries, flipping many of them on their heads. The blockchain is utilized in a wide range of spaces. And here at the ASK THE WIZ Wealth Institute, we're looking at blockchain projects that have come into the world as digital tokens through a process known as ICOs, or initial coin offerings. We're also looking at public companies that are producing blockchain-related products or blockchain software. And we will be getting P.A.I.D from those companies utilizing the underlying technology, blockchain. You must see now what others see eventually.